Terrell, thank you very much. You're beloved too, as you know. Thank you for asking me to speak today. It's a real honor. And yes, I am part of DA Paris, which is a fairly new group, which has expanded on Zoom thanks to COVID. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this again. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So first of all, came, a lot of people don't come here. Even people who I really love and care for and have met in other 12-step groups, they never come, they complain about problems with money. And why don't they come? Maybe they don't come because they don't believe. They don't believe that there's anything that can help them in DA. They don't maybe even believe there's a problem. So we're talking about denial. So you cannot possibly uh, develop belief and therefore faith unless you try something. And the word believe is so interesting and it's so important. And belief is an energy. If I believe I can do something, I can do it. If I don't believe I can't do it, I will not do it. And I like that word believe, and I can see when I'm going to get off of the track on belief. With all of us living in COVID, there's many things that I can easily say I don't believe in anymore because a lot of things are hard to get done nowadays. And I can't let myself negatively go down that. So belief is something that you can work on in your behaviors, in your thoughts, especially in your thoughts and what you're thinking, to believe. And then it says, in a power greater than myself, I'm not going to talk about that right now, ourselves, and being restored to sanity. Now, if you think that you are sane the way you're living and your relationship to money, there is no help for you because you need to see what the insanity is. And for me to have found out what the insanity is, I had to put down my pride and share what my current situation was with someone else. And I could no longer figure it out. As a sponsor once said to me, Emily, there's no step that says Emily's going to figure it out. And due to my pride or whatever, I always want to try to figure something out, and I wait until I'm just exasperated, and then I have to pick up the phone and call for help. That is the most magic thing that I've discovered in DA. When I first came to DA, I have to say, I moved in 1985 to France from America. And I have to tell you, I believed that I could do anything when I was an American, okay? And I came to France and realized I could do nothing. So already I became very humble, just of loss of language, country, friends, family, job, whatever. And married into a family that, had completely different values than I did on money. Now, I wasn't a debtor really in America, but I never used my money correctly. When I got here, because I took on the values of somebody else, I came to believe what their values were, and they did not work or correspond to who I am. And in trying to maintain values of, we don't spend money, we don't spend money on this, we don't on that, we only can, buy a house, but we better not buy a dress. And, pretty soon I bought into somebody else's values. And pretty soon, not having my own values and not being who Emily was, I no longer believed. And, the saddest thing is to not believe anymore, not to believe that there's any way out of anything. And, I've seen many people who believed and came to the program and did what they were told to do. Remember, no matter what step you're going to hear today, that there's never one that's the most important. You have to intertwine all of them together. In fact, you've just, I think, finished one, which is, I'm powerless. I can't do this anymore. I give up. My life is unmanageable. And so now what? I'm in a lot of pain. And now when I'm in a lot of pain, I need to share that with someone. I need to be humble enough to bring out what my current financial situation is, find out if someone can help me and see how I can get out of this kind of thing one step at a time, and to dare to dream, because a lot of us who've gotten in debt or have other addictions have lost our hope, lost our beliefs, and we no longer have that imagination and that creativity that keeps people alive. And that's one thing that DA did for me. When I came into DA, which I started in French DA before English DA started in Paris. I was kind of stuck. There've been a lot of changes in the family. The children had left and things like that. And I was at the end of my career. I was going to retire, and I didn't see much hope for anything that was going to be new other than family events. And I wanted out of that. And since I came into DA and I began to share these fears with people, I began to show what my figures is, learn about taking better care of myself, learn about understanding the numbers. I have been able to do things I never dreamed I would have done before. And one of the things about step 2 that everybody fights about, worries about, is, what is the higher power? Whenever anybody wants to, especially in many times in France, which, Americans were kind of used to, in God we trust, whatever, okay? No comment on that nowadays. Anyway, the thing is that here, this is a l'élite country. So, there's a real big thing about not using that word God. So when I'm working with somebody French, that can be the first thing, the first problem. And I tell everybody, even someone who was raised in a Catholic church and they have those problems or whatever it is, beaten by a nun, I don't know, or they're atheists, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You do not have to come in with some big fancy higher power. Nobody's going to debate your religion. It doesn't matter. The idea is that it's not you anymore that can try to figure your way out of your problems. And there is help. There is a solution in DA. And I think it's a lot of work, DA, but I have never really seen so many excellent tools that are available to us. The time that is spent, members helping each other, the action groups, all of these things that are available to us are such a wonderful thing that I am so grateful that I had the experience. Let's see, what else can I say? I think that, you're going to see the major themes that I had underlined, because this morning I reread this step again. And oh, I know another thing, why doesn't prayer work? That's in the step 2 of the DA literature. Why do some people say, yeah, but I believe in God? I have a really good friend. She was quite well to do in God and God and God. She talks about God all the time. I brought her to AA once. She went 2 times and she left because, and she's losing her money little by little by little, because she is not going to share her money. She's not going to do the work. And she's living in fear all the time in money. In fact, fear to such a point, I see it's affected her health. And, my heart goes out to her, but there's nothing I can do for her, because some people live in dream worlds, especially people who have had money, inherited money, and had money quite a bit their whole life. It's very hard for them to imagine that somebody's not going to come out of the wind and save them. Am I reaching 10 minutes? Maybe nobody's timing.
You have 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So that we can all learn, no matter what our financial situation is. I have seen people come into DA where they had to really, really give up and see miracles happen. I've had problems with the taxes here, which, I was now how am I going to do this? I don't know the kind of letter to write. What am I going to do? Should I make an appointment? These things can get like this in your head. Anything to do around money, which also includes administration. I called somebody in French A. I couldn't believe it. She said, here, I'm going to write you a quick letter. This will solve this. Never have I just seen such help, even in personal relationships, realizing when I did a vision group that, and an action group, that you know, me being a certain age, I might not have a lot of time left. I don't have a lot of time left to continue to do the things I want to do and the visions that I want to do. And do that, I want to continue them in a certain relationship. Do I want to continue them in a certain work? Do I want to retire? I need help with these questions because I no longer want to figure them out. Because when I figure them out, I am managing my own life and I am heading for trouble. So I just want to say that there's a few people that are very dear to me that have helped me in action groups or on phone calls. And I'm really grateful to DA, all the things that I've learned. I've learned about, you know, heat, electricity, going to the bank, you know, and you don't have to know everything about everything. You know, before,
Time.
thank you, when something broke, because of my French family, I thought like I had to fix it. You know, I now know I don't know how to fix a plumbing problem. I just call a plumber. So anyway, I want to thank you all. This has been a great experience, and I can't wait to hear what you're all going to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. So I didn't hear, is the recording, has that stopped?
Terrell, it's still flashing red, the recording in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Zoom host, please stop the recording.